Welcome back to the Mobile Home Elite, aka the MHI Podcast. I'm your host, the charming mobile home mogul, Byron Sellers, and I'm super excited to have you back for another topic. Do me a favor, as we start this, make sure you go ahead and write a review on your favorite podcast settings and make sure that we go ahead and rate that for us. We truly appreciate you. So here's the thing, y'all. Today we talking about this can break your rental property. This can break your rental property. We're going to go over a few things that can really break your rental properties, because here's the thing. I don't want y'all being slumlords. I don't want you to be out here doing bogus business out here, right? Especially when it comes to us helping people create clean, safe, and affordable housing, right? And really functional housing. That's the biggest thing, right? So this can really break your rental property. So the first thing is not properly doing an inspection if you're going to be renting out or if you're going to be doing seller finance. Why do you want to leave tenants with these underlying problems, right? How would you feel if the person that sold you your house or the person that's renting you your house, right, has all these underlying problems and you don't know and you're finding out, and especially if you're responsible for these, right? So that's another thing. You want to make sure you do proper inspections, make sure everything checks off. Here's the thing. I want you to think like this. Imagine that you're renting your home out for a Section 8 tenant, which you can do in mobile home investing, right? But imagine you are renting your home out for Section 8 tenant. Well, guess what, right? The public housing agency has to come out and everything has to check off for how your home and criteria is. So you're providing affordable housing. You want to give somebody this safe space. So for one, listen, you want to make sure that everything checks off. So let's talk about the things that we need to look for when it comes to checking off the list for items. So our property doesn't get broke, right? Or we're not bad landlords, right? So for one, let's talk about the most important things. We want to make sure the furnace and the AC. We want to make sure heating and cooling is good, man. We don't want to leave people out here bogus. Like, come on, y'all. Like think about this. Would you want somebody to do that to you? Absolutely no. So you want to make sure it's on point, right? If it's not in your budget, then just flip that house as is to another investor who can put it in a position to do it. But don't try to just get over just to get some money, right? That's just not fair. And listen, I personally believe in karma, and I don't want you having that bad juju on you, all right? Second of all, okay, the roof, no leaks, no visible leaks and things like that. Right, you want to make sure the plumbing is solid. Like, nobody wants bad plumbing. Like, would you want bad plumbing? That's everything I'm asking you. Would you want that? And absolutely no. Right. Make sure there's no soft spots on the floors. Make sure the house is tip top. Right. No mold, no underlying mold. Like, come on, this can kill people, y'all. So you definitely want to be careful of that. Like, you want to have a proper inspection. Right. Make sure all of the appliances is in good shape. Like, seriously, like, think about that. Would you not want a stove that goes out quick? No, you don't. So you want to be able to have functional appliances, right? Everything, make you a checklist. Everything has to check off to make sure it's good. That's why you want somebody in inspection. You don't want anybody doing the half-ass work on your mobile home, especially if you're going to be doing rentals, because this can break your property. Imagine, right? Imagine you sublease and your tenant is going to the property manager and saying, hey, every week or every month, something is broke. I'm tired of this. They're terrible. Like, you don't want that, right? You don't want those type of reviews. Imagine you having your Facebook page, right? Or for your business page, and you have these bad reviews on the type of landlord that you're being. You don't want to be that person. So these type of things will break your property. Okay. These type of things will break your property. Last but not least, you know what really break your property? Not screening your tenants, right? Because yes, they will break your property. All right. You got to be able to screen your tenants, man. Listen, I know sometimes we get in a bind. We need some money. We hold on to the house and we like, yo, listen, I mean, you got the money. Come on. You ain't did no background check. You ain't did no credit check. You just trust. You heard the story. Because that's one thing about this industry, especially when you're in affordable housing, you're going to hear sob stories. You're going to hear stories about people needing help. But here's the reality, right? You have to do your due diligence. You have to make sure. You need to check with their landlord, their previous landlords, or whoever they living with. Like, yo, like, was they paying their rent on time? Did they tear up your property? You need to find out those things, because everything I told you about, somebody can come in and wreck shop on your property. And that ain't what you want. All right. That is not what you want at all. Right. So with that being said, all right, make sure you do your screening. Tenants can really break your property. So coming to this industry, Like I said earlier before, you can have Section 8 tenants. You want to make sure you do your screening if a mobile home community allows that, or if you have your own mobile home on land, or if you are a mobile home park owner, you can have Section 8 tenants. All right. So, but the thing is, all of your homes have to meet the HUD codes, right? It has to meet with that public housing agency. It has to meet the criteria in order to be able to have Section 8 tenants. So that's always a plus, because guess what? If Uncle Sam paying, right, the government paying, we getting that check every single month. So think about that. But I wanted to make sure I do this podcast. Listen, y'all, really short, straight to the point on, these things can really break your rental property. Do me a favor. Make sure you share this podcast. I'm truly excited. Let me know what topics you want to hear. And here's the thing, y'all, do me a favor. Go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and leave that review on any of the podcast channels. And listen, y'all, this is your host, the most charming mobile home mogul, Byron Sellers, and I am signing out of the Mobile Home Elite Podcast. See y'all next week.